Gemini season's coming. Jupiter's coming into Gemini. There's like technology that is great. Apple is bringing the opportunity for you to use eye tracking on recent iPhones and iPads. So Apple, I guess from an accessibility standpoint, Apple has for a while had the opportunity to do this. You just need like extra hardware to do the eye tracking. You can control your iPad with your eyes. It uses a front-facing camera to track your eyes. I mentioned it like 2 or 3 months ago, how I saw years ago an Apple patent that was about using like the whole screen being a camera. So I wonder if that's coming. That makes me think of this. Obviously, it's amazing for people who need to access technology using their eyes. So some MIT students took advantage of the way Ethereum works, and they stole $25 million worth of cryptocurrency. So U.S. Attorney Damian Williams has said that it, quote, calls the very integrity of the blockchain into question. Yes, it's not so much the blockchain, it's that Ethereum does stuff to the blockchain to make it faster, to make it a better user experience. It's not the blockchain that's the problem. It's how these Web3 technologies built on blockchain work. The benefit of blockchain to make things faster, to not have to have like it. Do we need it at all? It's the question. But like, so it's like, oh, we can't use blockchain for these innovative things if we don't do it this way, because otherwise it's really slow. It's like, well, do we need it at all? Yes, we need it for the signals intelligence, to teach AI, and to power the social impact bond markets. Don't you get it? So what Ethereum does, Bitcoin blockchain is like secure. It's just like you do a transaction, it logs the transaction. It takes a long time because it has to go through all the entire distributed network, but it's a permanent ledger and it's secure and everyone can see it. The end, but it's slow. Ethereum bundles transactions. So it's like a bunch of these transactions happen and then the whole unit is like loaded onto the blockchain so that you don't have to do it one by one throughout the whole network. And these guys took advantage of that, like the train leaving the station, going on, headed to the blockchain. That like liminal space is where they stole the money. And everything's going to be built on Ethereum. Everyone needs a digital ID to access Web3 technologies because it's unsafe if you don't, because people can steal money. You see where things are headed. So in the city of Alameda, they're doing those cloud brightening experiments to try to cool the earth, which is the premise of the movie Snowpiercer, that like there's like a side effect of that turns the world into a frozen tundra. And I know that's a movie, but also, have you ever read Leonard Shlain's Art and Physics? You haven't? Me neither. Art imitates life. The city found out that scientists were doing cloud brightening, so they're like, what are you doing? We're going to find a way to make you stop. This is violating the lease with the aircraft carrier you're doing it on or something. And the scientists are like, we're happy. You come and find out about what we're doing. This is what the Alameda Post says. City staff are working with a team of biological and hazardous materials consultants to independently evaluate the health and environmental safety of this particular experiment, the press release states. Specifically, chemicals present in the experiment's aerosol spray are being evaluated to study whether or not they pose threats to humans, animals, or the environment. So far, there isn't any evidence they do, the city stated. So they're blowing salt into the air. They're like, we need to study this salt to see if it's harmful. Watch my Jupiter and Gemini video. It's very like small and big stuff where it's like, Jupiter, we're going to fix the whole Earth with no side effects. To find out whether there will be side effects, we're just going to zero in on this one detail that's like, is the chemical bad? No, it doesn't harm humans or animals. So we're going to blow it into the air and like save the planet. What could go wrong? Maybe nothing. I'm just saying like that doesn't seem very science. You're just evaluating whether or not the chemical itself can harm people, but then like the action of like blowing it into the clouds and affecting the entire ecology, because like you're trying to change the entire Earth. So yeah, it could change the entire Earth for better or for worse. Why is it only good? The U.S. House of Representatives passed the Ticket Act. It creates transparency in ticket pricing for like sports events or Taylor Swift concerts. It gets rid of hidden fees. It bans speculative ticketing, which is like ticket sales where the seller doesn't own the ticket. There's like a ticket market, speculative concert ticket market. Oh, speculative, that's bad. But the social impact bond market makes your entire life speculative. So that's an interesting slap on the hand. But something I thought was interesting is that it was meant to like be similar to advertising guidelines for airline tickets. So I guess that was like a hot mess before there was legislation. So it's good. Like obviously ticketing is a hot mess. I find this important also because like in the future, the title to your house is going to be an NFT. Your driver's license is an NFT. Your license plate is an NFT. Your ticket to your Taylor Swift concert is an NFT. NFTs aren't just like dumb JPEGs that you can buy and sell. It's every digital asset. Everything is becoming a digital asset. Every ticket, every pass to everything, they're all NFTs permanently logged on your digital ledger, which when everybody talks about data privacy, like it's like, oh, we need to see all your data if we're going to like give you government assistance, or if we're going to let you live in this luxury apartment community or whatever. Anything you might need approval from someone else, you'll be compelled to share your data, which is all permanently logged. So if they don't like what concert you went to or what sports team you like, that's the future to train artificial intelligence. This whole TikTok situation with we're going to ban it or you had to sell it. Someone named Frank McCourt, who has something called Project Liberty and has made a decentralized social networking protocol. If you know, I haven't like looked into those two things very much, but it's just like liberty, decentralization. So that probably means it's on blockchain, but your data is private. So all of this is framed as like data sovereignty. But the thing is, it's to allure you to be logging all your data permanently on blockchain, and then you'll be compelled to reveal that data. And they're calling it data empowerment. Logging every single detail of your life permanently. I mean, it already kind of is, but it's like we're just putting it in one place. And then also a part of the Project Liberty press release, I think, if I have this wrong, let me know. They're working in consultation with Guggenheim Securities, which is the investment banking and capital markets business of Guggenheim Partners. So everything I'm saying about social impact bond markets, like all those details of your life, everything you post, everything you interact with if it's decentralized, that means it's on blockchain, so it can be more easily put into a permanent digital ledger, permanent record associated with you. Anything that requires a Web3 digital ID, all your data in one place. And they don't really talk about this, which is weird. But I thought it was interesting that they're in consultation with someone who's like investment banking and capital markets, because tokenization is for signals intelligence to train AI and also signals intelligence to fuel the social impact bond markets. So Hugging Face has $10 million worth of compute to empower people to work with AI. You need a lot of like raw power to do like big things, and Hugging Face is all about everybody being able to do those things. But a part of the whole future, entering into the metaverse, the evolution of the emergent machine intelligence. You have to get data from many, many silos, which is tokenization. Kind of a Jupiter and Gemini thing. Really, it's exciting to experiment with this technology. It's really important for the evolution of artificial intelligence that lots and lots of people are working on it in an open source way, in addition to like the big companies. The big companies want that too. So it's just interesting to me that this is just framed to like help beat the big AI companies, when the big AI companies understand the combined brain trusts of all of humanity working on AI in an open source way is going to lead to more innovation more quickly. And it's also going to lead to more signals intelligence more often. So, I mean, this isn't bad. Hugging Face is really neat. Coming out of Cornell, another like academic paper, Moment, a family of open time series foundation models. A time series model is taking information from all of time to predict the future. It's predictive analytics. That is what astrology is. Looking at where things are and looking at information about where things have been and what happened then to determine what's going to happen. After this, watch my Jupiter and Gemini video. And the last thing, I mean, as much as I was like raising an eyebrow about the Morning Brew podcast, I still listen to it. They were interviewing the CEO of Uber, and he said the biggest competitor for Lyft and Uber is personal car ownership. Also, they were talking about how Tesla is also working on like a ride-hailing thing. So very big tech companies, their biggest competitor is you owning a car. And I want you to think about that in terms of like the like conspiratorial refrain about how you'll own nothing and be happy. Big companies are becoming more and more invested in you not owning anything. We can see it with like Photoshop. You can't own Photoshop anymore. You have to subscribe. There's like, it's the industry standard. So it's really hard to like get out of that. Like you can get Affinity, but they were bought by Canva. So they said that they're not going to make that a subscription model, but you never know. Take note. Large tech companies' biggest competitor is you holding wealth. Watch my Jupiter and Gemini video. Excitement around technology is somehow at odds with us holding wealth. So on Monday, the sun enters Gemini and the moon is in Libra. So it's a chatty morning. And then the moon moves into Scorpio in the afternoon, primordial, but still chatty. Fallen moon also squares Pluto on Monday. Chatty morning, and then a little bit gut-wrenching second half of the day, but we're still talking about it. And it's Gemini season. Press yes to confirm. Press stop to stop these texts. The astronomical case for the northern hemisphere being like what everything's based on. It still works the same. Astrology still works the same in the southern hemisphere. Maybe I'll make a separate video about that. In the northern hemisphere, when it's Gemini season, that's like when you're starting to hear like all the bugs making sounds and birds. You're starting to just like hear a lot of beings do vocalizations and communication and like bees flying around. And on Tuesday, the fallen moon in Scorpio just came out of hell squaring Pluto, opposes Mercury, ruler of Gemini, and right now Mercury is in Taurus. It's more about that like, all right, we're talking about this. We're scenario planning, it's Mercury in Taurus. Thinking and talking about like how to like hold wealth and build good stuff, like generate comforts, material stability. We're going to talk about our feelings, the ups and downs of that. So that's Tuesday. Clear your schedule for Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday is the full moon in Sagittarius. The moon has a lot of light. There's a lot of energy swirling around. The first part of Wednesday, the moon trines Saturn. We're taking care of business, delayed gratification. Put that in Tuesday also. Early in the morning, the sun trines Pluto. So the sun in Gemini is trining Pluto in Aquarius, like a preview zone of Jupiter in Gemini trining Pluto in Aquarius, which I think is going to create a lot of excitement about Web3, blockchain, gaming, the metaverse, social media, decentralized stuff around that, quote unquote decentralized. If you don't know what I'm talking about, watch my token engineering video, and watch my Jupiter and Gemini video. So the sun trines Pluto, which is like a preview. It illuminates AI. Everybody's using it. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's scraping their archives to train their own model. Nobody wants any of the information they put out there to be used in training a model. The sun illuminates that. And the moon also opposes Uranus. We have the element of surprise. And then like a lot of other stuff happens that's kind of nice. This all technically happens in the wee hours on Thursday, but we can lump this into Wednesday because it's all applying. The moon opposes Venus. The moon opposes Jupiter and trines Neptune. Maybe you get to have some fun for once. This is a really nice time of the year. So Wednesday night could be pretty fun. Maybe all day Wednesday is pretty fun. The moon is hitting Venus and Jupiter and trining Neptune. And even though it's the fallen moon, it's like pre-activating the Venus-Jupiter conjunction in Taurus. Creature comforts, baby. We all need them. Fun, but also maybe complicated. It's a Scorpio moon. Something's coming down the pipeline in the middle of the night. And so Thursday, early in the morning, so like in the middle of the night between Wednesday and Thursday, the moon moves into Sagittarius, so it's ruled by Jupiter, which is about to have Venus in Taurus conjoin it. So that's like material embodied pleasures. The world is saying yes to them. There's a lot of hope and inspiration about that. And it's the culmination of this transit that's been happening for about a year now. And Venus also sextiles Neptune early in the morning on Thursday, with the moon off axis from it, but ruled by Jupiter conjoining these things. And that full moon hits early in the morning. Wednesday's big and complicated. Thursday is a lot, but a lot of the stuff happens early in the morning. And on Thursday, Venus moves into Gemini. So we have the sun moving into Gemini, we have Venus moving into Gemini, and soon we have Jupiter moving into Gemini. But Jupiter has one last order of business, sextiling Neptune. The Jupiter-Neptune story began April 12th, 2022. So whatever was like initiating April 12th, 2022 around like broadening of the imagination, generosity of the universe, unrealistic expectations. It's meeting some realness now in a good way, like material realness. The Jupiter-Neptune conjunction happened in the sign of Pisces, which is a water sign, and the Jupiter-Neptune opening sextile is happening in Pisces and Taurus. Earth and water make mud so you can build. It's not maybe quite what you imagined when Jupiter conjoined Neptune in 2022, drifting along an imaginative wave of inspiration and treats, I hope. The end of Taurus season is really like going out with a bang. Jupiter, Neptune in Pisces could be a lot of like idealism that's unchecked, kind of unmoored. You know, maybe like not having too much of a foundation in reality. It's just like imagining possibilities. This Jupiter, Neptune is like Jupiter, Neptune, now with a little more discernment. No, actually, Saturn's in Pisces. So yeah, now with more discernment. Things are more real. We have more discernment. Soon, watch out because Jupiter's going to be squaring Neptune. And that might get a little rough. Or you might need to like check yourself. Things that were unrealistic might get in your way later. So enjoy this. Take advantage of it and prepare for the future. Friday is my top day for getting things done because it's just the moon squaring Saturn and the moon trining Mars in Aries. So go forth and get it done on Friday. So this is Saturday morning, but it's applying on Friday. You know, sometimes these like manifest several days before. It just depends on like your chart and your relationship with these things. So in the wee hours on Saturday, Venus trines Pluto. So this could be a Friday thing too, with Venus trining Pluto, like in an air sign. It's Venus in Gemini trining Pluto in Aquarius. So like, have you met your digital twin? Have you fallen in love with your digital twin? Maybe your decentralized data sovereignty. You're like interested in what that has to say about you. Or you're like bored and you want to like push it further. Trining Pluto, so like pushing up against maybe a transgressive boundary. Take your boredom and push it to extremes. Play the power by snap. And the moon's in Sagittarius still. You might like have some breakthroughs on Friday. And on Saturday, early in the morning, the moon moves into Capricorn. We're getting down to brass tacks. Sagittarius was fun, but now we need to do the work. And that could be like refreshing, given like the like blowtorch that was Friday and all the excitement of Thursday and the full moon in Sagittarius. Because Jupiter moves into Gemini on Saturday afternoon. Watch my Jupiter in Gemini video to learn about what it means for your sign and to learn about stuff that's happened in the past, just like overall what to expect. And some like a little timeline of the transits. So yeah, I think it's kind of nice. The moon will be off axis and not ruled by Jupiter. So we get kind of like a slow introduction. There's a lot of excitement. So Sunday's boring, whatever. I mean, it really isn't. Sunday's like a new world. It's a new Jupiter cycle as of last week. And then the moon trines Mercury in Taurus, wrapping up that Jupiter transit. Mercury's coming through to be like, all right, well, let's connect the dots on all these things. And the moon sextiles Saturn. So that's the moon in Capricorn sextiling its ruler Saturn in Pisces. We can get things done. But the moon squares Mars at night. The moon in Capricorn squaring Mars in Aries. So that's the moon in detriment squaring powerful Mars in Aries. I hope you want to get something done and you don't want to like Netflix and chill. The moon is connected to other people in your chart. And then there's all this Gemini stuff going on. That might be kind of rough. There's like some conflict. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of technology, optionality, discovery, inspiration, and curiosity, which can inform our optimism and growth mindset, which could be good or it could be too much. Jupiter in Gemini is like now trining Pluto, so there's a lot of hype around AI, and remember your Wi-Fi is a camera that can see through walls.